Um, I have by my side usually a cushion, any kind of pillow. Yeah, I have a mat, and the cushion is mostly sometimes if we are sitting. So yeah, if you have one, it can be useful. If not, you don't need to worry. I also take a blanket, and the blanket is mostly sometimes we are sitting on our knees a bit longer, so the blanket is mostly to have something soft to sit on or to have the feet or the knees on. So blanket, pillow. Sometimes we can practice positions where it's useful to have a belt. Um, an actual belt for trousers could work. Even one of your socks could could work. It could be enough. And again, this is also not compulsory. You usually find ways around it. And I have one box that I use as I would use a yoga block in the studio. More or less, it's the size of a shoebox. So yeah, I have it by my side. This time or even the next time, maybe you can find it easily. If not, I always give alternatives to practice even without the boxes or any of the props really. We can come on the mat and we can start in standing today, just so we make use of all this spring energy. Okay, good. So we start with our feet at hips distance, Tadasana, mountain pose, and so we can broaden our toes, make the foot really broad, really large, knees are soft, the lower back slightly pointing down. This means if we had a tail, it would go down towards the floor. Okay. And we feel the weight well distributed from front to the back of the foot. And we keep coming up the body, feeling the length of the spine, the shoulders to the side, arms up to the neck. And we have our chin a little close to the chest. And feel at the same time our heels are pressing down into the ground. And the length of the spine from the heels, the head is reaching up in the opposite direction. Okay. And from here, exhaling chin to chest. We inhale and gaze up. Letting the movement start from the lungs. Exhaling, imagine the lungs coming in and inhaling. Lungs expand, we gaze up and exhaling down. You can feel the muscles of the neck and the throat lengthening. Maybe up to the shoulders. One more time, inhaling up. And as we exhale, chin to chest, and we continue the movement. Bending the knees, we're coming down in Gajasana, the elephant pose. Knees are bent, the upper part of the body becomes passive as we bend down. And inhaling, we unroll the spine, knees remain bent, and we come up from the lowest vertebrae, up, into the head. And we repeat, exhaling, taking the whole time of the exhalation to reach down to the floor, and inhaling. Long inhale up to Tadasana, and we repeat this movement. Adjusting the speed, the same speed as our breath, taking all the time of the inhale to come up and exhale to reach down. Feeling the spine warming up And vertebra by vertebra with the movement that we can do as we bend down and come up. Like we're hanging from the hips, making sure the shoulders and the neck are really passive and relaxed. These movements. And one last time, exhaling, we roll down towards the floor, and this time we stay. So we make sure the position is comfortable. Feet are still at hips distance, at least hips distance. Stable, knees are bent. Our belly is in touch with the thighs. And the neck is long, so we're gazing towards the knees maybe. We can do yes or no with the head. Arms can be long towards the floor, or we could grab with each hand the opposite elbow and even let this weight pull us more towards the ground with gravity. Whenever we feel legs are tired here, we can always stretch one leg and bend the other more in a kind of walking elephant. This is elephant pose. Or maybe we can interlace the hands behind the sacrum, behind the back, and inhaling, lifting the hands up towards the ceiling, exhaling, letting the arms come above the head. The belly is still in touch with the thighs, knees are still bent. And exhaling, we're going to release the arms down again. Bending the knees, inhaling, we come all the way up to standing again. Okay, feeling our feet again stable on the ground. And we shift the weight, starting very gently from the front to the back of the feet. Increasing more and more, emptying the arms, and also the breath. We're going to be inhaling when we come up on the tip of the toes, arms up, exhaling, arms go back, and we come on the heels. Choosing your own speed. So this movement is a good warm-up for the feet and for the ankles. And whenever we feel stable, we can always try to stay a bit longer on the tip of the toes, reaching up with the hands, shoulders down, away from the ears. We're pressing down with the big toes on the ground. And maybe we can start again, moving up and down. Okay. And one more time, we can try to stay up a bit longer. Shoulders down. We're going to keep the hands, the arms reaching up, and we come down the heels, back to the ground, and we're going to bend our knees here. Tadasana, like sitting on a high chair, feeling the length of your spine, the strength of the legs, and see if we can relax the belly here, shoulders, the jaw. Okay, we're going to keep the arms in this position and we come up with the legs back to standing. Okay, we're moving into windmill. So with my pelvis I'm rotating towards the right and my right arm is going back, my left arm is going forward, and they come up the opposite way. Okay, maybe turn to the center, one arm goes back, the other one comes forward, and they come up the opposite way. So each arm is drawing a circle on its side of the body. My right arm is like swimming backward, and my left arm is swimming forward. And they do it at the same time. Again, releasing the shoulders here. We're slightly bouncing on the knees. Letting the arms come down with gravity. And the next time hands are up, we keep them one in front of the other and we change direction. So this time I start rotating the pelvis towards the left arm going down towards the back, right arm coming down towards the front, and drawing circles in this new direction. As we exhale, you can release the arms. It's really gravity that is pulling the arms down, and they are kind of keeping this momentum. Okay. Just one more time. And release the arms. Good. Back to the center. We can find our feet on the ground again. Feeling our shoulders. We're going to inhale, bringing the shoulders to the front and up. Exhaling back and down. And then changing direction. Inhaling to the back and up. Exhaling front and down. One more time towards the back. Okay, and releasing both shoulders. We try to keep the shoulders down. So imagine the fingers can press into the mat, like long arms. This is the feeling that we want just for this warm up in this exercise. Knees are still soft. We can shift the weight to my left leg. Left shoulder is reaching down, and I open the left side of my neck. So my head is going towards the right. Inhaling here and exhaling center. One more time. Weight to the left foot, left shoulder down, opening the left side of the neck. And exhaling center. Okay, and changing direction. Inhaling now from the right foot, right shoulder pressing down, opening the right side of the neck. Exhaling center. And one more time. Inhaling, pressing down the right foot, right shoulder down, and opening the right side of the neck. Okay, back to the center. Same movement, this time wider. Inhaling, pressing down the left foot, this time opening the left side of the torso. Exhaling center, then pressing down with the right foot, opening the right side. My hand comes up to the side of the rib cage. Exhaling center. And we keep going from one side, exhaling to come back, inhaling to the other side. Each time we're forming this kind of moon or banana shape to each side. And the gaze could stay at the center. We could also look down towards the ground if this is more comfortable for the neck. Whenever we open one side, we're inhaling, inviting the rib cage to expand. Exhale, center. And we just do one more time for each side. Okay, and back to the center. Good. Reaching back down to our feet again. This time we shift the weight that we've been doing just from one side to the other. And then back to the center, feeling the weight distributed on both feet. Good. And then we shift the weight to the outer edge of the feet and to the inner edges. So outer edge pressing down and then big toes pressing down. I do it with my hands sometimes because it helps the feet follow the same movement. Okay. Then we bring our feet a little closer and we do the same, this time in parallel, both feet going to the right and to the left. So we are moving the weight from one side to the other. I think I can see Sarah aligning her feet. Good. Okay, and from here we bring our feet even closer. So now big toes are going to be in touch. We leave a couple of centimeters between the heels and we're going to bend the knees and drawing circles. Circles with the knees and the pelvis is also following. The hands are going to be on the kneecaps. And then changing direction, drawing circles on the other side. Making sure the spine is still long here, no tension in the neck, it's not needed. Okay. And back to the center. Feet pressing down, big toes are still in touch. Feel the heels also pressing down. Sides, see. Maybe the toes are still broad, but the heels are also pressing down. And the more the heels reach down, the more the head is coming up tall. Okay. Inhaling here, feeling the spine become even longer. Exhaling. Next time we inhale, the same length, and we're going to bend the knees. So at the same time, we keep the spine long, and we come down to squat. The heels come up as much as possible. The knees also up to the ceiling as much as possible. Long spine. Here we are inhaling, and as we exhale, the belly remains in touch with the legs, and we leave the pelvis. We're going to keep inhaling down from the ground, long spine, and exhaling. Pelvis comes up. Our legs could come straight all the way, or they could remain bent. We don't really care here, but we want the belly to remain close to the thighs. And we keep inhaling, exhaling, warming up the back of the legs. Again, your own speed. Sometimes doing this faster can warm you up faster. But it can also be intense. Do it quite slowly to challenge your balance. Make sure as we come down, we lift long spine. And just one more time, inhaling the squat, exhaling, and we're going to stay in Uttanasana this time. Again, the knees could be slightly bent, belly in touch with the thighs. The hands this time could come to the front of the legs or to the back of the legs. We're pressing up with the sacrum towards the ceiling, and we're folding together. So the head goes towards the shins. heels pressing down. The belly is sucked in and up. Good. And release. We bend the knees. Open the feet a bit wider as we were in Gajasana before. And inhaling, knees are bent. We unroll the spine to come up to stand again. Okay. Knees can remain soft. We can interlace our hands, our fingers behind the back, behind the sacrum. And here as we inhale, we let the hands pull down and pull the arms away from the body. Exhale, arms come back, and we pull the shoulders to the front. Inhaling, lifting the chin slightly, exhaling. Arms to the front, the chin comes back to neutral. And as we do this movement, make sure the lower back is not arching. So when we lift our arms, we're not following with the pelvis. The pelvis keeps pushing towards the front, and the movement is just in the shoulders. Stretching the front, the chest. Do one last time, inhaling. Feel free to stay a bit longer if this feels like a good stretch. And then exhaling, we can release again. Okay. Good. Back towards the center. Feeling the shoulders again down towards the ground, long. Okay. Now we're going to lift the arms to come parallel to the ground. Shoulders away from the ears. And here we're going to flex the hands, flex the wrists. Feeling the stretch, maybe in the whole arm. Okay. And then opposite way. So we're bending the wrists, fingers pointing towards the body. And we can play a bit. The position could be a bit higher or lower. Maybe arms more to the front or to the back. And releasing the hands again. We roll one shoulder, goes backwards, the other shoulder comes to the front. And we keep rotating the two shoulders. So if my arms were bent, it would look something like this. Yeah. We can keep the arms bent actually, or we can do it with long arms. The movement starts really from the shoulders and moves until the hand. Okay. Good. So we're reinforcing the shoulders here. And then from here, both hands come in front of the face. We're going to inhale here and exhaling. Releasing the breath and releasing the shoulders. Inhaling up. Exhaling to release the shoulders. And one last time. Inhaling. And releasing down. Good. Okay. Back towards the center. We do one last stretch for the neck. Feet are still at hips distance. This time we're going to move the weight to the left foot and to the front of the left foot. And inhaling, we look above the right shoulder. Shoulders stay in the center and we're stretching these muscles of the neck. Exhaling, we come back. Just one more repetition. Moving the weight to the left, to the front of the left foot. Inhaling, look above the opposite shoulder. Exhaling, back. Okay. And now shifting the weight to the right foot, to the front of the right foot. Inhaling, looking above the left shoulder. Exhaling back. And one more time, inhaling. Exhaling, center. Good. We're going to open our feet a bit wider now. We're moving into triangle. So more or less feet at hips distance, at elbows distance. So they're a bit wider. We're going to, you can always adjust them later. So we can just give it a try and then adjust the feet. And move to the side so you can see me. We start with a couple of just dynamic movements. Exhaling, we bring this straight spine parallel to the ground, moving the weight towards the heels. Inhaling back up and exhaling down towards the heels, feeling really the body center shift backwards. One last time. Exhaling. We're going to bend forward. Okay, good. Here we could keep our hands on the hips. This is one option. Or we could, if we have the box or any kind of support that we can have in front, we could place our hands on something. But we would like to keep our back parallel to the ground. So if it's too low, we get a bit too much towards the front. And in that case, it's better to keep the spine straight and just the hands on the hips. Okay, so first movement here, let's try to feel the sitting bones. So one hip coming up and the other hip. Feeling just the space that we have for movement in this position. Okay. If I move to the front, you see it as well. It's coming up one and the other. Okay. The movement is still going to start from the hips. Now we're going to move up with the right sitting bone, opening the right side of the torso, the shoulder and the right arm. Exhaling, center. Inhaling into the left sitting bone, torso and arm. Exhaling, center. And we keep inhaling from each side. Exhaling to reach back. Keeping a long spine and straight legs. Maybe feeling the stretch inside of the glutes. Next time we come up with the right arm, we can stay. Belly comes in and up, legs are straight. We're breathing in the rib cage. Exhaling, center and repeating into the left. Sitting bone coming up, torso, shoulder, arm. Again, belly in and up, expanding the rib cage. Exhaling, center. And to come up from here, we're going to bend the knees and roll the spine back to standing. Bringing our feet a bit closer again. Okay. And letting the hips gently move. We can start drawing circles, shifting the weight all around. And and changing direction. Okay, and back to the center. Knees remain soft. We exhale and we let the chin come down to the chest. And inhaling, now we let the head draw circles. We inhaling into one side, head goes back. Exhaling, the head comes down the other way and comes back chin to chest. Now we keep drawing circles in this direction. We can let the hips also follow, adjusting the weight as it shifts. The body center moves and the head moves. One last circle on this side, and the next time we're chin to chest to change direction. Inhaling into the other side, exhaling down. Okay, one last circle on the second side as well. Okay, and reaching back up. Good. We're going to move to the front of the mat. So, yeah, if you have a support, you can keep it close to you. It's not going to be compulsory. For now, we're just going to stand at the front of the mat. Feet at hips distance. And bending the knees, we're going to exhale, roll down into Gajasana, as we did before. This time we bend a little more, so our hands can come to touch the ground. I bring all my weight to the left foot, and with the right foot I take a long step back. So it's long, reaching towards the back of the mat, and I bend my right knee, comes to the mat. If you have a blanket and if you want extra softness, you could have a blanket under the right knee. We lengthen also the right foot and helping with the hands. We come with the weight at the center, checking how the pelvis is oriented. We try to have the tail pointing down, so the pelvis is rotating. Lower back is long, so this is protecting the lower back. And then move the weight again towards the front and letting the pelvis sink down towards the mat. So here we're stretching the front of the right hip. The hands can come to the ground, the hands or the fists, or we could also have a support and keep the hands a little higher. Here I will change direction so you can see me. This. So my torso is resting on this front leg and my hands or fists are down to the ground. The chest remains free, but the gaze can be also down at the floor. And we feel the stretch lengthening this hip. Good. Move back to the side. Okay, from here we use our hands to bring the weight again at the center. And this time my right hand is reaching back and I try to reach my right foot, bringing the foot up. And we can take it from the center, from the toes, or also from the side. We could take the heel or the ankle, even the trousers. And with any variation that works for us today, we move back towards the front and down. Same position as we were doing before. Now it's also stretching the thigh maybe this is enough for today. If you want to bring the stretch even stronger, we could bring the leg a bit closer towards the glute. Take one more breath here. And exhaling, release the leg down. We tuck the toes of the right foot under, lift the right knee, and we step to the front of the mat again. We're back in Gajasana, elephant. Always feel free here to bend one knee more and stretch the other. Okay, just change side. Good. We're going to repeat. So again, we bend the knees enough. The hands are touching the ground. This time weight on the right foot, and with the left, long step back. The left knee comes on the mat, maybe a blanket here if you want, and we can untuck the toes of the left foot, bringing the weight towards the center. We're going to check the tail, it's moving down, and we bring the pelvis to the front and sinking down towards the mat. Hands or fists on the floor or on the support. And again, we're stretching the front of this hip, of the left hip now. This can be especially tense if we sit a lot, if we cycle a lot. With the help of our hands, again, we reach back towards the center. This time the left hand reaching backward, reaching to the left foot, grabbing in any way that is possible today. If this is not accessible, we could also just repeat the same stretch that we've been doing. If we can, grab the left foot, and we still try to shift back the weight towards the front and bringing the pelvis down towards the ground. Again, staying here, or if our legs are very flexible today, we could bring the left heel closer to the left glute. Exhaling, releasing the back leg. And this time, again, tucking the toes under, lifting the left knee, and stepping forward on the mat. From our Gajasana, we can still bend one knee at a time. Okay, bending of knees, we unroll all the way up until the head. Good. Okay, we're still going to stand at the front of our mat, and if we can move into a few sun salutations. I cannot see you very well, so I will do the first two a bit slower, talking a little more. If anything is not clear, always feel free to unmute yourself and to ask any question. But if you cannot see me, if you cannot hear me well. Okay, so we're starting at the front of our mat. Feet are at hips distance. Toes are still rolled. Okay, and we bring our hands in prayer in front of the heart. One line that goes from elbow to elbow. And there is some space between the hands and the heart. From here we take One breath into the hands, just opening the palms of the hands, exhaling, bringing the palms together. Let's do this a couple of times just to, it's really simple way to calm down the system. Inhaling, keeping the fingertips in touch, exhaling. Same movement as our rib cage is doing. Inhaling, opening laterally, and exhaling. Okay. From here, next time we inhale, we're going to press down from the big toes, knees, hips coming towards the front, arms reaching up in a slight back bend, and exhaling, we reach down and forward. Okay. Knees can be bent, weight to the left foot, inhaling, right step back, you bring the knee down, opening the chest, opening the heart, and exhaling, hands on the floor. We're going to step back into Nirvasana. We inhale here, and exhale, we come down to the floor, knees, feet together, the chest between the hands, and the chin on the ground. Shoulders down away from the ears. We untap the toes and inhaling. We come up in Cobra, so legs are pressing into each other, shoulders down. Exhaling, we tap the toes under and reach back into Nero. Look between the hands, inhaling right step, moving towards the front, opening the heart again, exhaling left. Inhaling and rolling the spine all the way up, reaching back with the hands, exhaling to the front. Exhaling, feeling the belly in and up. And do this one last time, inhaling from the front. Exhaling, Meruvasana. We inhale here, and exhaling, we come down the ground. Knees on the floor, feet together. We bring the chest down between the hands and the chin on the ground. Okay. We untap the toes, and from here, this time we just lie on our belly. Okay. So we have we can actually open the toes a bit, so the feet can come as wide as the mat if you want. Okay. And we can also lengthen the arms in front, similar to, imagine we are kind of swimming again here. Okay. The forehead can be on the mat, or we can look slightly up. And from here, inhaling, we're going to lift one leg and the opposite arm, pulling in opposite direction, the feet and the hand. Exhaling down, inhaling into the other side. Exhaling down. And repeating. Lifting each time, activating the glute, strong leg, strong arm, exhaling, inhaling, especially strong back, exhaling down. Okay. And we're reaching back to the center. The hands could also come under the forehead. We could move the hips from side to side. Okay, and now we bring our hands to the side of the chest on the ground, okay? The forehead can remain low if it's comfortable, and feel the glutes active. So the pubic bone is pressing into the ground, glutes active, strong here, very compact, And we bring the feet together. So the heels are touching, feet are pressing into each other, and the glutes are still active, pressing down. Hands to the side of the chest. And we're going to start pressing down with the big toes, heels together, knees together, pelvis pressing down, and we're lifting into cobra. When we're here, shoulders down, away from the ears, and the hands are not taking any weight. The gaze can be down at the mat. Feeling the strength of the spine here. Maybe we are slightly moving with the breath into the belly. Exhaling down. Okay. Opening the feet a bit wider again. We press into the hands, come back, tuck the toes under, and exhaling. We're back into Mervasana. Okay. Feeling again the length of the spine. Maybe bending one leg at a time. Okay. Maybe bending both together. Okay. Exhaling into our Mervasana. We look between the hands and inhaling, right step to the front, the back heel is reaching back, opening the heart, fingertips on the ground. Exhaling, left step to the front. And inhaling, we unroll all the way up and back, and exhaling down to the center. Inhaling into the hands, exhaling. One more time. Inhaling up, exhaling forward. Inhaling left, open heart, exhaling Mervasana. Inhaling, exhaling, knees, chest and chin. Inhaling Cobra, shoulders down. Exhaling Mervasana. Inhaling left, step forward, open heart. Exhaling right. Inhaling. Exhaling to the center. Breathing into the hands. We can release the arms down. Knees are still soft. We can look at our feet. And this time we make sure the inner part of the feet, they are parallel to each other. Toes are still widespread, so feet are really broad and stable. Okay, and from here we shift all the weight to one foot until it becomes really easy to lift the other foot off the ground. And we're going for any variation of tree that feels good today. We could have the foot just next to, on the ground, next to the other ankle, making sure the two hips are parallel to the ground. We could also have the foot either below the knee or above the knee. We don't want to have the pressure of the foot next to the knee, so either below or above, or we could have the leg keeping it on one side the arm and opening the other arm to compensate balance. So any variation that feels good for today, and also the hands in a mudra that feels grounding and stable. We could also be in prayer, we could be reaching up, open like a tree. The knee of the leg on the ground is soft. And the two hips remain in line with the floor. And then gently release the arms. We release the leg. And with this leg, we come to cross in front of the other leg. So now the legs are crossing and the little toes are touching each other. Again, this kind of cross. And from here, we're bending down in a variation of Gajasana, of the elephant pose, with the legs crossed. So now it's stretching the outer side of our legs, making sure the neck is still comfortable. And releasing the arms, we can slightly bend and unroll all the way to stand. Again, releasing the feet, finding ourselves with both feet again stable, broad, parallel on the inner edges, and we're shifting the weight to the other foot. Knee is soft, we can lift the other foot. Again, choosing a variation, the foot can stay on the ground next to the ankle, or it could be either below or above the knee, or maybe we can grab it with the same arm and having the other arm up to compensate. We're keeping the two hips parallel to the ground, and hands could also be on the hips or in any mudra, any variation that you would like that makes you feel grounded like a tree and helps you with balance. Releasing the arms, releasing also this leg, and again feel free to do any movement with the pelvis really. Knees can be slightly bent, and we could be drawing circles or drawing 8 or any other figure or line that feels comfortable or needed for the hips. We're going to come down to sit on the ground. So if it's comfortable for you to come down with a squat, we can have the feet as wide as the mat, as the short part of the mat. The toes can be pointing outside, and we can bend our knees and keep bending If it's possible, try to stay with our heels on the ground and reaching down until we can. The hands could come also on the ground in front of you. And sometimes it helps to just shift the weight from one foot to the other. This is especially if you're not very comfortable in the squat, this is a way to kind of work on the position. Another way would be to stay in the center and maybe have a support like sitting on a cushion. And this sometimes helps, it releases the weight. Or if you're without a cushion, we could also place the elbows in this soft part inside the knees and having the hands in prayer again. And giving you all these variations, you can really choose the one that works well for you today. Okay. Spine remains really long. Okay, and whenever you want, we can sit back on the ground and we lengthen our legs in front of us so we can move the feet in and out. The feet are quite wide, so we can also draw circles with the feet. Okay, so drawing circles with feet in both directions. Okay, and still from here we can point one foot, flex the other. So this makes us move up to the pelvis, starting it from the feet. Okay, gently shake again. Okay, we come to sit up in Dandasana, in stick pose. So making sure the back can be long here. Sometimes this is easier if we have a support. A blanket could be enough to sit on the edge of a blanket or the edge of a pillow or a cushion. Okay, the starting position, we just want it to be comfortable. Then we bend. I'm bending my right leg here, so my right foot is on the ground, and I lift the foot. And again, here we could draw circles for this ankle. And the other side as well. Foot on the ground again, and we're feeling both sitting bones really reaching down. And so the weight is distributed, the spine feels long, the belly is in and up. So we're breathing into the rib cage, and the belly button stays in, close to in the direction of the spine. We're feeling the length of the back. And from here, next time we exhale, starting from the lowest part of the belly and the spine, we twist towards the bent leg. Our arms could be in front, we could hug this leg, but we're not pulling with the arms. So the arms could also be open or reaching towards the floor. In any case, if we release the arms, the position is not changing. We're not pulling ourselves. The gaze can be at center or above the back shoulder. Front foot can be flexed. And the belly remains in and up here. Exhaling back to the center. And we're going to change leg. Sorry, turn to the other side. Okay, starting from a comfortable sitting position. Long spine. This time we bend the left leg, left foot on the ground. We can lift the foot and draw circles with this ankle as well. Feeling the spine long. And then the foot back on the ground, belly in and up again. Feeling the length as we inhale. And as we exhale, again, twisting towards the bent leg, starting really from the lowest part of the spine, coming into the thoracic spine, maybe hugging the front leg, or maybe just having the arms open or to the floor, gaze to the center or above the back shoulder. Each time we're inhaling, the spine becomes a bit longer. And exhaling, we feel the belly in and up. There's even a little more space to go back towards the back. Okay, and releasing. We come back. We can have both feet on the ground. And we can let our knees come on the floor on one side and the other. Good. We're going to come down to lying on the floor. So we are going to transition through a half boat pose. So we're sitting here, knees are bent, feet are on the floor, feet together, and we're going to lift the toes. So we're just staying here on our heels. Okay. We can adjust the distance. Here we want to be able to reach the side of the feet with our hands, and we bend our spine so the forehead can be in touch with knees. We draw the belly in and up, very active belly. Hands are free to the sides of the feet. And exhaling, we start unrolling the spine to reach very slowly into the mat. Then we're bringing down vertebra by vertebra. We could again inhale and reach back up to sit, and repeating. Really letting the spine round. The chin is pressing into the chest, forehead on the knees. And pressing the chin down, we can unroll really slowly. Legs are pressing into each other, pelvic floor is active. If you want, we could do this just one more time. Exhaling, neck is round, chin to chest, legs pressing strongly into each other, and unrolling the spine, this time coming all the way down to lie on the floor. Good. So here we're making sure that the lower back is comfortable. So maybe we need to adjust it. Feel free to bend the legs and making sure the lower back is as comfortable as possible. Good. And same with our neck. We can bring our hands under the head, letting the elbows be open on the floor, two sides. Exhaling, bringing just the elbows towards the ceiling, inhaling here, and exhaling, bringing the head up. The head is really heavy, and we let the hands carry this weight of the head. And we still let the hands put the head back on the ground slowly. Okay. Good. Here our hands can be on the ground next to our torso and our legs. And we can bend the knees and then stretch the legs, bringing the heels up towards the ceiling. Chin is still close to the chest. And pressing into the floor with the arms and the hands, we're moving up into shoulder stand. So we let the feet come in the direction of our face and keep traveling. Arms are pressing into the ground. We can bring the arms closer, the elbows closer, so the hands can come to support the lower back. And we could raise the legs up towards the ceiling. This can be a soft pose. You don't need to come all the way straight. Maybe legs are soft. Make sure there is space in the throat, in the neck. And if you have any tension around the neck or any reason not to be in an inversion, you can always come down anytime. You don't need to stay. And we're all going to come down, bending the knees. Knees can come to the forehead. Legs can stay bent, or maybe they can reach towards the ground again. And then helping with the arms, we come back really, really slowly, bringing back one vertebra at a time towards the floor. Very, very, very gently. And we're going to stay a bit with the legs up towards the ceiling. So we let the blood pressure come back a bit slower. And then bending the knees, feet on the ground. Being very gentle with the spine here and with the neck. We can draw with the head like a very, very small yes, like almost with the nose. It's a small movement. Or a tiny no, moving the head. A tiny movement from side to side. And if this feels fine for the neck, we can do a bigger yes or a bigger no. Okay, and back to the center. We are going to bring the wrists under our glutes. We're moving into half fish. So wrists come under our glutes, so the hands are strong on the ground. Our arms are quite close below our back, and our legs are long on the ground. Okay. From here, we flex the feet, and exhaling, we are going to point the feet, pressing with the hands and the forearms into the ground. So this movement kind of lifts our chest up. Feet are pointing, and the head, maybe it's not touching the ground. If it is touching, it is not taking any weight. Just a couple of breaths, opening the rib cage here. And then to come out, we just bring the chin into the chest, and then with the help of the hands and forearms, we're back into the ground, and release the arms and the legs. Okay. Feeling our bodies and gravity on the ground. We can bend our legs, bringing the feet on the ground again. And if it feels comfortable, we can draw the legs, the knees bent into hug, close to the belly and chest. Maybe it feels nice to just roll a bit from side to side. Like a gentle massage to the back on the ground. Okay. And from the center, we could also roll a bit from the front to the back. Until we want to come all the way up to sitting. Okay. You can sit in any way that is comfortable for us. If we're sitting cross-legged, we can also have a question to sit with our hips a bit higher than the knees. Or we can also sit on our heels. Having a cushion here can be useful at the center. Any of these positions is fine. And just take a couple of breaths here. Feeling the sitting bones, reaching down, the weight, the parts of the body in touch with the ground, feeling the feet, the legs, feeling the belly and the spine, the rib cage and the chest, the shoulders and arms and hands, and neck. We make sure our jaw is soft and relaxed. Very yawning. Cheeks are relaxed. The forehead. The eyes are relaxed. The nose. Nostrils. The lips. And even the tongue inside the mouth is relaxed. Now we just close with one more breath together. Inhaling, making the spine really long. And exhaling, opening.